Welcome to the Google Sites module. Let's get started by heading over to Google Sites. You can get to Google Sites a number of different ways. We can click the Apps Launcher and scroll down and choose Google Sites. We can come here and type sites.google.com, or we can launch a site from Google Drive. When we use the URL to visit Google Sites, it takes us to this landing page. Here, we can launch a site from a blank template, just like we did from Google Drive. Or we can use one of the many templates in the template gallery. When I click on Template Gallery, there are many more to choose from. When getting started with Google Sites, we recommend using a blank template. A Google site can be used in a number of different ways. As teachers, we can create our own site for our classroom. We can also have students create sites based on a project that they're working on, or even a portfolio from the entire year. Let's get started by naming our site. Click up here in the top left-hand corner and give it a name. This is the file name. No one but you will see it. Just here in the banner, you can see a place to enter the site name. The site name appears in the header and the website once it's published. Just click anywhere to make it active. Here in the center of the banner is your page title and will change on each page you create. Next thing we want to do is maybe change the background image. There are a number of images in the gallery to choose from. You can also search for them with a web address, on the internet, from your photo albums, or even Google Drive. Let's just choose one of the gallery photos. The last thing we want to do for our look and feel of our site is to head over here to Themes. Themes help with continuity across the entire site. They'll dictate color and font. Let's add some content to our home page. Head up here to the Insert menu and choose Text Box. I'm just going to paste some text just as a placeholder. You can adjust the layout by just dragging these blue bars. I can even adjust the font size. Let's add an image here to the side. By clicking on Google Images, this will allow us to use Google to search for images that we're allowed to use. The image is landed in a spot I don't want, so I can move it from here to here, and then I can move our text box back up here. Alright, we're off to a good start. Let's go ahead and set up another page. Click on Pages, and then click the plus button at the bottom of the page. I'm going to call this Class Calendar, and hit Done. You can see that our navigation is starting to set up with our home page here and our class calendar next to that. I can come here to Insert, scroll down here, click on Calendar, and here's that Google Classroom calendar we created in one of our other modules. And then I hit Insert. The calendar will come in small, so I'm going to stretch it out to make it larger. You'll notice right now that the calendar is with Agenda View. I can come under here to the Settings and change that to Month. Let's set up another page underneath Google Calendar for our excursion permission slips. I go to Pages, then next to Class Calendar, I can click the three dots and add a subpage. I'm going to call that subpage Excursion Documents. Now I can go to Insert, Docs, and add our permission slip. An important thing to remember when embedding a document is to make sure that the permissions will allow anyone who visits your site to see it. You may have to go back to Google Drive, click on the document that you created, go to Share, and make sure that document is shared with anyone with the link can view. If you don't do that, people will have to request permission to see the document on your website. Now that we have this page underneath our class calendar page, we can access it by clicking on the drop-down menu that appears here. We call this a nested page. So we have our home page, our class calendar page, and underneath our class calendar page is our excursion document. If we'd like to change the way our navigation looks from the top here, we can go to the cogwheel and change that from top to side. Now we access our navigation from this menu. Where you put your navigation is really just up to you. You might want to allow your students the autonomy to choose how they want their site to look. Let's add another page to our site. Since this is a video classroom, I'll have a page for videos where kids can share their videos that they've made in class. You can do that in a number of different ways. If I double click here in the body of this web page, I have the option of clicking from Drive. Here's one of our search videos. Don't forget that you might need to make the permissions available for anyone with a link can view the video. This video is fairly large, so it may take some time to load. Let's head back to our home page while it's loading. You might want to scroll down here to the bottom and add a place for people to give feedback. Let's go ahead and insert a Google form. I can click this button here and then hit Insert. Now, anybody who comes to my site will be able to fill out this Google form and provide any feedback. This is great for portfolios. As I'm working on my site, I might realize I need some help, so I can come up here and share my site with another colleague. Let's ask JJ to help. I'm making sure he has editor permission, and then I'm going to hit Send. Now we can collaborate on a great site. The last thing to do is go ahead and give it a preview. Let's click the preview button here. This is what the site will look like on a computer or a laptop. Here's what it would look like on a tablet, and here's what it would look like on a mobile phone. Once we're ready, we can go ahead and publish. Just click the Publish button here in the top right. You can make adjustments to the web address. I'm going to leave it as is, and the last thing we need to look at before publishing our site is who's going to be able to see it. Here, anyone in our domain can see it. Click Manage to make a change. Come down here to Links and make it public. The ability to make it public will depend on the permissions that have been set for your domain. When you're satisfied, hit Done. Double check everything looks good and then hit Publish. Our website is now live to the public. You'll see here that this button is now active, and I can copy the link to my site. Now I can share that link with anyone. If for some reason I decide I don't want it to be public anymore, I can come here to the drop-down menu and choose Unpublish. Then hit OK. My site is now back in draft mode, and only I and the people I've shared my site with can see it. There are lots of options with Google Sites and plenty more to explore.